Happy Monday morning, tubers. What we have here is a 2002 Yamaha Warrior. This was a $500 deal from Putnam County, somebody I had done business with before. It was on Facebook and it didn't sell. I paid $500 for it. That would have made this the cheapest all-terrain vehicle on Facebook. I really can't do too much with it until we figure out what to do with the hole on the side of the engine. That really needs to be patched before it could be started or anything else. So this is only a little dangerous. Anyway, you guys could see through the chain, crack the case. Probably, though he told me a tree stump did it. And the problem is I just can't smash this full because you have a bearing race right there. And if one fills that with epoxy, the bearing is going to, at the minimum, seize. It's probably going to, have epoxy flowing through. So I actually have to put some kind of floating patch on there. And let's see what we could come up with. So what you're looking at here is a bolt that snapped off. And it looks like if I place it right into the hole here, right, it's able to float right on top, not fall in. And if I clean it up, I should be able to epoxy it into place right there and have it seal the hole and just basically become part of the case. You can see by the amount of oil and everything else that I have to do quite a bit of cleanup there, or the patch will never stick, and I also have to clean the rust off that bolt, or that's not going to be helpful. It's always interesting when you kind of get them on the side. You can kind of see what's going on. Like, I don't know if that's the neutral switch or reverse, what that thing does, but it's quite disconnected. Maybe temperature. And we have something else here. So just interesting. I am going to have to take a quick look at that. It appears as if something was going on here, and they spent quite a bit of time doing something with the ground. While it's tilted up, it never hurts to look at the bottom of the motor to see if it's damaged, and it looks pretty good. So I cleaned things up the best I could, and as you're trying to clean things up, you're trying to keep metal from going into that bearing. So after spraying the whole area with carburetor cleaner and all that other stuff, what I did is I very carefully put a good spray of WD-40 into the bearing in hopes of blasting any material out of it, and once again in hopes of being able to start this thing up without that bearing being dry, right? One doesn't need that bearing to fail. So anyway, you can see I fit the bolt head into the hole there, and I plan on epoxying it into shape. This is the JB weld that I've used, not the putty stuff. You got to kind of mix it. The reason why I like this is it has a tendency to I'm not going to say fill in the voids. It's not thin, but it does work its way into some cracks. It takes a full 24 hours. Cure time, it says 15 to 24 hours. Set time 4 to 6. I'm probably going to get it in there, let this thing sit on its side for about 4 to 6 hours. Then I'll upright it and we'll come back to it tomorrow morning. Okay, tubers, I've patched it up about the best I can, and all I could really do from here now is wait. To be honest with you, as I was putting the epoxy on, I cleaned the metal up the best I could. I scrubbed it so it would have a good surface to adhere to. I cleaned it with carburetor cleaner, sanded it, kind of cleaned it again. Really did my best. And if this area is at all pressurized, if the case is pressurized, I think it's going to leak oil. Given that it's kind of above oil level, if we're not pressurized, if some oil just kind of splashes up against it, maybe it'll seal, maybe it'll weep a little bit. I don't know. It's a very hard area to patch. It is the main case. It's to tear it apart, the engine has to come out, the jug needs to come off, and one needs to split the case. None of these things are trivial, so I mean, I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm going to wrap this video here because I basically wanted to do a video about patching an engine case. I think I've done about the best I could do with it. If anybody has any additional suggestions, I'm open to them. I did not do anything to this engine which would keep me from tearing it all apart and building, you know, using some of that aluminum rod to solder it up. Obviously, one needs to tear it apart, pop the bearing out of there, because one can't heat up the bearing and put aluminum rod into it. So I think I've done all I could do. Maybe some of you have some additional thoughts, but I guess we'll find out in 24 hours. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please keep your feet down, your heads up, and I want everyone to get out there and enjoy each and every day. You know, wash your hands and be careful. For folks I know who've caught this, and now it's to the point where, you know, it's becoming friends, it's not trivial. If you catch it, you're going to be in a world of hurting for a week or two. Well, actually for 2 or 3 weeks. It seems like it takes a while to get over. It sticks around for 2 weeks, and it's like the flu with a baseball bat. It puts a pretty good hurting on you. So don't catch this. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. You know, be careful and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.